I was talking to somebody about Manny coming back fighting Mario Barrios.
Ouch.
And this was the analogy I gave. Your timing is just, it slows down. That's time. Time slows you down.
Pacquiao is 46 years old. We haven't seen him in the ring.
All the best for them.
What about Manny and Barrios? What do you think?
Oh, it's gonna be a good fight. Always, Manny Pacquiao bring all the best to make a good fight.
Manny Pacquiao returns at 46, aiming to break boxing history by capturing another world title, challenging WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios on July 19th in Las Vegas. The former 8-division king emphasizes his rigorous prep with Freddie Roach, asserting he'll be 100% conditioned. At 30, Mario Barrios stands younger, taller, and sharp. A crisp jab, high work rate, and recent wins over Yordenis Ugas place him firmly in his prime.
Well, business just picked up here in Las Vegas. July 19th, you'll see the WBC welterweight champion, Mario Barrios, and the 8-division legend, Manny Pacquiao. Manny, long layoff. You could have come back probably against anybody. Why pick out the champion in the division to make this historic return?
I believe with fighting with Barrios, we can give a good fight and we can entertain the fans. I mean, that's pretty sure because Barrios is a good fighter also. He's a champion.
The biggest question from everybody, Manny, is how much do you have left? I'll ask you that at 46. What can we expect to see from the great Pac-Man?
You know me, I always bring surprises to the fans. Like what I did before, I have to train hard and make sure that 100% condition on the fight.
Mario, you've been on the highest level before, pay-per-view fights with Tank and Keith Thurman. But getting a name like this to defend your title against July 19th here in Las Vegas, it's got to feel like a mountaintop moment in some ways.
Definitely. No, this is huge. This is huge for me. This is huge for boxing. Living legend. Coming back out of retirement. To fight me for my WBC title. It's an honor. To be defending against him. But I'm expecting one of the hardest fights of my career, and I think that's exactly what people are going to see on July 19th.
I know the admiration, the respect you have for Manny Pacquiao. How do you turn that off on fight night going in against a legend like this?
Nothing but respect for him, nothing but respect for everything he's accomplished and done in his career. But at the end of the day, he's in there, he's trying to take what's mine.
Mario Barrios has made it crystal clear that he's approaching this fight not as a showdown with an icon, but as a high-stakes title defense against an opponent who happens to be in his way. Speaking at a media workout ahead of the July 19th bout, Barrios said, "I'm not training with the mentality that I'm going to be ready to fight an icon, a legend. At the end of the day, he's just another man trying to fight for my title."
I'm not training with the mentality, that I'm getting ready, to fight an icon, to fight a legend. At the end of the day, he's just another man, trying to fight for my title. He's going in there trying to, take my title, and I got to do whatever it takes to make sure he does. So, once that bell rings, it's just business.
Manny, you have a chance to join the history books with the likes of Bernard Hopkins, George Foreman, Archie Moore. Do you feel like you have the potential to be an inspiration for us 40 and over guys to follow your dreams in a big moment?
That's what I'm trying to do, to be an inspiration to the young kids and also the people who love boxing.
Manny, you'll also be inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame in June, 1 month before this fight. Congratulations. What does that honor mean to you?
Thank you. It's a great honor for me to be inducted as a Hall of Fame. And also, that's a history. I mean, I can't believe it. I can imagine in my boxing career, I will get the Hall of Fame.
We know his accolades. What type of fight should we expect when you two touch gloves July 19th?
I think everybody knows what type of fight Manny brings. Everybody knows that I never shy away from an action-packed fight. I think July 19th is going to be nothing short of an exciting night for boxing and just the world of sports.
The world champion Mario Barrios, the living legend Manny Pacquiao, July 19th, PBC on Prime Video pay-per-view.
While he respects Pacquiao's storied career and what he's meant to boxing, Barrios insists respect ends once the bell rings, saying, "All the respect, it's going to be there. But come fight night, we're going in with bad intentions." This mindset underscores his focus on the task at hand, retaining his belt, not celebrating his challenger's legacy. Many boxing experts agree that time is not on Pacquiao's side, and at 46, the subtle but inexorable impact of aging could be his undoing. Sports scientists highlight that split-second timing, critical for both offense and defense, declines significantly after the late 20s, with lung capacity and explosive athleticism ebbing too. Speed, once Pacquiao's hallmark weapon, is often the first casualty of aging. Even his trainer, Freddie Roach, has noted the gradual loss of foot speed and recovery pace in camp.
I was talking to somebody about Manny coming back fighting Mario Barrios.
Ouch.
And this was the analogy I gave. Your timing is just, it slows down. That's time. Time slows you down. And so to me, I think Manny has to come out very strong, very fast in the first couple of rounds because his gas tank ain't what it used to be. At 46 years old, you come out and let's just say hypothetically your gas is half full at 46 years old. I'd rather try to use that half tank
when I got something
in 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And really get off on this kid because he has the kind of style. Styles make fights. He's got the perfect style for Manny to do what he do. But the further that fight goes, the more that's gonna go down. He ain't young no more when it does this. It ain't gonna do this no more. It ain't gonna go down and then come back up. He not gonna create space, take a deep breath, and that thing shoot up the way it used to. He ain't gonna do that, you know what I mean?
Observers of his training also point to movements that seem more labored, and while still formidable, he's not the whirlwind of prior years. The concern goes deeper than aesthetics. Reduced speed makes his famed defensive reflexes more vulnerable, increasing the risk of being caught by a hard-hitting younger fighter like Barrios. Many feel this comeback, while brave, may be fraught with peril.
Manny Pacquiao against Mario Barrios fight is signed, done for July of 2025. Pacquiao is 46 years old. We haven't seen him in the ring in years. Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine.
If Pacquiao wants to come back as a Hall of Famer and fight one more time, whatever. He didn't look good against Yordenis Ugas, and that was 5 years ago. We've seen him in these exhibitions looking fleshy, to say the least. It's meaningless because if Barrios wins, he's never going to fight a Boots Ennis. If Pacquiao wins, he's not going to fight anybody ever again. So I'm kind of indifferent to the whole thing.
Jeff Mayweather, the uncle of Floyd Mayweather and one of Mario Barrios' coaches, has been candid about the Pacquiao-Barrios clash. Speaking to DAZN, he acknowledged that, although he's rooting for Manny, his true belief lies with his fighter. In his words, "I've got Pacquiao's back, but realistically, I'd be surprised if he pulls it off." That succinctly sums up his mindset, a respectful nod to Pacquiao's legendary career, paired with clear-eyed realism about the present matchup favoring the younger, fresh, and technically sharp Barrios.
For another belt taken on Mario Barrios, what do you make of this?
Well, first of all, before I even talk about the fight, it seems that boxing has changed because this guy's been retired for what, 3 or 4 years?
What's his last fight, Thurman?
Yeah.
Been a while. He's 46 years old.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that he's done nothing to be fighting for a world title.
Oh, yeah, for certain. Yeah,
So, I mean, I don't understand why he's even fighting for a world title.
But to make a comparison, isn't that kind of the same thing, though, really? Is like Floyd fighting Conor?
It's not the same.
Why not?
Because.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it.
Joel Diaz, veteran trainer and television commentator, delivered perhaps the most candid critique of Manny Pacquiao's return ahead of his bout with Mario Barrios. Diaz warns that Pacquiao's best years are behind him, bluntly stating he should not step into the ring again. He argues that at 46, Manny lacks both the physical tools and fight rhythm needed to compete at elite welterweight level. Diaz points to Pacquiao's diminishing speed, reflexes, and stamina, arguing that any opponent with size, youth, and solid fundamentals like Barrios could impose themselves early and avoid his signature offense. Despite Diaz's respect for Pacquiao's legendary career, he doesn't sugarcoat his thesis. This isn't the same fighter who once dazzled the world.
Yeah. Manny Barrios is younger. He's younger. He's big. He's a big boy. I mean, he still has a little bit more more youth in him than Manny. You know, Manny, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mario Barrios is probably same size as Margarito.
I think so, like 5'10", 5'11".
Around there, yeah. And Manny at this age, he shouldn't be fighting. You know, I mean, in my opinion, I respect the man a lot. He gave the sport of boxing his life. He gave us great moments, great memories.
Brian Mendoza, a standout super welterweight contender and teammate of Mario Barrios, offers a sharp, insider's perspective on the matchup. He highlights Barrios' superior size, strength, and punch resistance, predicting that those attributes will be pivotal in dictating the fight's rhythm. Mendoza points to Barrios' jab discipline and ability to control distance, both essential for neutralizing Pacquiao's famed speed and angle-hunting aggression. However, Mendoza issues a cautionary note. If Pacquiao lands his signature explosive combinations early, Barrios could be in trouble. He notes that Manny still carries dangerous power and veteran savvy, capable of altering momentum before Barrios' tactical game fully takes shape. Ultimately, Mendoza believes the technician wins. In most scenarios, he's backing Barrios to outpoint Pacquiao, but he gives weight to the possibility of a stunning upset if Pacquiao seizes the moment.
Don't say that before the interview.
I don't. This is an unbiased opinion.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, you know, even just as a boxing fan, you know, obviously coming up, it was always, you know, seeing Pacquiao's fights and stuff, and now to see the homie, you know, going up against him like that, it's wild, man. It's a wild feeling. I know even more so for him, but nah, man, I think at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, the age will show up in the fight. I think at first, you know, he's had people talk about the layoff, but it's also a rest for someone at that age. So I feel like he's going to be rested. I feel like we might see, you know, hints of little old Manny, no pun intended, the old Manny. Little bits of flashes of that in there, but I think at the end of the day, man, Mario's super sharp. This is the sharpest I've ever seen him, you know, this far in camp. I'm super excited, bro, and he's gonna put on a great show. I still kind of lean towards like a decision, but regardless, it's Mario's way. If there is a stoppage, I think it'll be in like the second half. Like I said, you know, because I think that's really when the age is gonna show. Because you can look good in the gym, man, but once those bright lights are on you, anything that's wrong will come out. So as much of a legend man he is, I think, you know, he bit off a little more than he can chew with Barrios.
Bob Santos, Mario Barrios' head trainer, has delivered a stark warning to Team Pacquiao ahead of the showdown. He painted a very grim picture, asserting that in this matchup, Pacquiao would have only two possible post-fight destinations, the hospital or the cemetery. Santos also emphasized Barrios' aggressive game plan, stating that if his fighter sees even the slightest sign of weakness from Pacquiao, he will pursue a definitive knockout. If at any point he has him hurt, it's kill or be killed. We have to do that.
A lot of time we spent together. Picked up a lot of things from you. Freddie, you know I was in that gym a long time, Freddie. I picked up a lot of things watching those camps with Manny Pacquiao right there, baby. We know a lot of things from there. I was in there every day watching him. And unfortunately for him, there's a lot of things we're going to bring to the table on July 19th of the things that I've seen with Manny Pacquiao. We're coming, baby. You know that, Freddie. I was there a lot of time, Freddie. We did a lot of time in there, in and around Manny Pacquiao. You know that, Freddie. And you know that too, Manny.
Several respected voices in boxing believe that Manny Pacquiao still has the weapons to damage Mario Barrios, despite his age. Former WBO junior welterweight champ Chris Algieri pointed out that Barrios is suited to his style, making him a perfect matchup for Pacquiao's explosive angles and speed.
Tell us about your preparation for Mario Barrios. How is it different to 4 years ago when you faced Ugas?
The different, I'm more focused right now. No distraction, I really focus on the whole training camp and focus on stamina, focus on techniques. He is a champion. He is a fighter that, you know, we cannot underestimate him. He's taller than me. He has the advantage, but, you know, we prepare for that. Just watch on July 19th. It's going to be a good fight.
A former opponent of both fighters, Thurman highlights Pacquiao's edge if he can re-establish his explosive footwork. If he can get in on that instep, I know he can hurt Mario Barrios. He warns, though, Barrios' length and consistency may dominate in the later rounds, ultimately tipping the edge to the younger fighter.
Pacquiao Barrios, bro. Who do you like?
It's hard to know, you know, at the age of Pacquiao, you know, what we're going to get from him, you know. But I'll tell you this. Depending on his conditioning, right? Depending on how much he can pop in on that instep that he brought to me, that notorious fast instep, if he can pop in that instep, and if Pacquiao can get in, you know, I know he can hurt Mario Barrios. Defense of Mario Barrios is still suspect. He is willing to get caught. You can catch the kid. He's not hard to find.
George Kambosos Jr., who sparred over 250 rounds with Pacquiao during training camps, insists Manny still moves with elite speed and intensity, qualities he was reminded of firsthand in the gym. He says Pacquiao pushed him with frenetic work rate and sharp explosiveness, which left a lasting impression on his own performance even years later. That experience gives Kambosos confidence that Pacquiao hasn't lost his edge and can still pose a real threat to Barrios, should he tap into that old gear.
Yeah, it's surprising. Obviously, I know Manny very well. You know, he's a true competitor. He's a guy that if you put something in his head, and obviously to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and, you know, try his best. That's what Manny, one thing I always learned with Manny is give 110% and try your best no matter what. So yeah, he's going to give it his all. Again, you can't beat Father Time though. Father Time is hard, and it was very hard watching him fight Ugas, and you could see it. And then watching the exhibition he had with the Korean guy or the Japanese guy in I think last year, it was hard to watch. I know Manny, I know the man that I was sparring. I love that guy. So, but again, he's a legend, and if he turns it on, he can still do it.
Bookmakers overwhelmingly favor Mario Barrios entering the July 19th bout, with moneyline odds sitting around -300 to -350 for Barrios and +245 to +270 for Pacquiao. The consensus among experts and bettors is that Barrios' youth, physicality, and activity give him a clear edge. Odds Shark sums it up bluntly: Barrios too big, too young. Smart play is points win. ESPN analysts echo this sentiment, predicting that Barrios will use his jab and reach to keep Pacquiao at range, ultimately securing a decision victory. Meanwhile, Sportsbook Review figures the fight will play out through the middle rounds, landing their projection around rounds 5-6, when Barrios' conditioning and methodical strategy are expected to dominate. In short, the odds, expert analysis, and betting market all align behind a range-controlling decision win for Barrios.
Well, I mean, Manny's already, it doesn't matter anything. Manny's already a winner, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's just to step in and to keep challenging himself at his age. I mean, he's already won. So it doesn't matter what the outcome is.
July 19th, we've got Manny Pacquiao getting back at the ring at the age of 46 against a young, hungry champion, Mario Barrios.
Doesn't matter, knockout. You know, nothing against the other guy, by the way. Shout out to you. You probably have a great future ahead of you after this fight. But I'm predicting maybe a 7th round knockout. You know, it's gonna be a little brutal. Head's gonna be on the ground. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely betting on it. So we'll see.
I think it's nothing Manny can't handle. I think if Manny fights Manny's fight, I think he beats him. And I think, and this is where I say it might be shock the world, I think he could unify the title. I really do. I still think he's got the ability at 46 to do something that will shock people. I believe that.
At a certain age, even as great as Ray is, he's not the Ray Leonard who became the world champion, one of the greatest fighters in history. So age takes a toll. I mean, Manny actually walked in when I was working out in the ring. And I said, you know, let me tell you something. Age really has nothing to do with this. And I'm 82, so, you know, I think you train hard, you're working hard, you've got the skills, but, you know, let's be realistic. It's a split-second sport, right?
You nearly hit me.
Nearly. That's why I said nearly.
So you still good.
Love you.
In short, the Pacquiao versus Barrios bout paints a clear narrative. Barrios is favored to win by decision, while Pacquiao remains a threat only if he lands early, explosive punches. Experts agree, Barrios' youth, size, and recent consistency give him a genuine edge. The projection across betting sites consistently leans toward a range-controlling 12-round win for Barrios. Still, Pacquiao's legacy isn't in question. His hand speed, veteran IQ, and finishing power make him dangerous early, especially if he can catch Barrios off guard.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he? I get he still loves the sport, but listen, you are an all-time great, a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. Why is Mario Barrios agreeing to this? Unless there is some astronomically large amount of money being given out for this fight makes no sense for either party. And I'm sick of having this welterweight division held up by dumb stuff like this. We don't want this fight. It makes absolutely no sense. And all it does is hold up the welterweight division a little bit longer.
What do you think? Can Pacquiao pull off a miracle, or will Barrios dominate? Drop your predictions and fight night analysis in the comments below.